Welcome to Ed Fluential Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And today I got a special guest here with me. I'm interviewing pro wrestling referee Wayne Maddox. Wayne Maddox, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, doing good. It's good pleasure to be here with you and have sitting down and talking with you.
Yes, sir. So glad to have you here. We're gonna dive right into it. My first question for you is, what originally inspired you to be a wrestling referee?
So, I mean, as a lot of referees can probably attest, you don't start off. You don't like go into it being a referee. You wanting to be a referee. Usually, you want to go in being a wrestler and train to be a wrestler. And ultimately, that is kind of the ultimate goal for me. Like, not ultimate goal, but one of the goals because I do train like any other professional wrestler, anything like that. I know how to lock up. I know the ins and outs, and honestly, that's knowing that stuff is how you get to being a better referee because you know what they're going through, so you know what to look for. You know what how to pace yourself, how to pace the match, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I didn't start off wanting to be a referee. I wanted to be a wrestler, but as I started like kind of working my way through because I originally started off as a camera guy doing stuff, and that is still a very big passion of mine is camera work and everything. But I took up the mantle of referee just so I can get more ring ready, get the feel of the ring, the get have the ring readiness, get the and everything. But I I fell in love with it almost. Like I realized that there is a lot of work and a lot of thought and a lot of importance behind the referee role. And it if you see a lot of people who don't take like referees who don't take that referee role seriously and are just literally a trainee slapping the stripes on to count 1 2 3, you can tell like they don't have the same belief and thoughtfulness behind being a referee as opposed to someone who does want to be a referee. And that's me right now. I want to be that referee that someone can call upon, like, oh shit, I don't have a I don't have a referee right now. I know this guy will be able to carry you through the entire show by himself. And I like that thought. I like being that guy.
Yeah, that's a dope. So I got a follow up question for that. Was that a tough decision that you had to make when wanting to be a wrestler but having to start as a referee?
Nah, it's a natural progression in my opinion. I believe everybody needs to make that progression because knowing the referee's job, like the ins and outs of the referee job, can only make you as a professional wrestler better. Because one of the number one rules, not number one rules, but one of the top rules in professional wrestling is don't punk the referee. We're the law, we're the official, and if you try to punk us, I mean, a good referee is just going to disqualify you and end the match. And there's a lot of importance in that. So if you, as a wrestler, become like as a trainee, not necessarily a wrestler, but as a trainee, get slapped in the role as referee and like, ugh, this isn't what I want to be. I don't want to be some stupid zebra counting 1 2 3. It's not the right mindset to have. It's probably one of the most important places in which a trainee can learn the ropes, so to speak, and learn the ring, learn it because it's the best seat in the house, and you get to see up close and personal how things are being done and whatnot. So it's not a. I'm sure at the time I was like, referee, it's not really my thing. I want to be a wrestler, but like it's such a beautiful and important role that it needs to be done and learned by everybody. It's a true role that needs to be learned by the entirety of a true professional, well-rounded professional wrestler.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's like the natural progression of any job. Can't just start as a manager. Got to work your way up.
Bingo,
So, yeah.
bingo.
All right. My next question for you. Well, what type of training do referees go through that fans might not know about?
Uh, we train to be a wrestler. Like any referee knows how to take a bump, knows how to hit the ropes. Um, they know how to lock up, chain. They know professional wrestling. So it's a lot of people will probably think, oh, referee, they're just there to count 1, 2, 3, and it's all over. But it's learning the in and out rules, learning the rules of the promotion, because not every promotion has the same rules, and being familiar with that promotion, how they run things. So it's not just a physical gymnastics of learning the ropes, but a mental gymnastics of how does this company want to portray themselves? How do they want to work? Like, like how I started off as just a regular run of the mill referee. Um, Normal family friendly shows. Then a very good buddy of mine started getting me into more hardcore wrestling, hardcore refereeing. So while there isn't as much rules in that, it's still very important to have a referee that is sound of mind and can see, is this person okay? Are they willing to make the right calls, and so on and so forth. So it's a whole lot of training in a whole bunch of different areas, and it's a, for as much as work that needs to go in to be a good referee, it's an underappreciated job. But of course, that's my humble opinion as a lifelong serial referee.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I never really thought about it like that because obviously the difference in the companies, like in New Japan, the count it's a 20 count when you're outside the ring, and
Mm-hmm.
WWE is 10. And so major difference
Mm-hmm.
depending on if you're working with. So yeah, that make a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
and like regions themselves, like old, if you ever watch old school Memphis wrestling,
Yeah,
referees start counting when they're on the top rope, and you better get off that top rope before they hit the count of 10. So it's I've done that because I've refereed in the Memphis area, up in Tuckerman, Arkansas, Valiant Arena, world famous. It's an amazing arena. If you've never been by there, I would definitely check out. They still run shows there to this day. It's just a time capsule of Arkansas professional wrestling history. It's just a wonderful place to visit at least once. But I refereed up there. I did a little bit of the Memphis style wrestling up there and whatnot, and I mean refereeing, sorry, but uh, that I don't see that old school style used very much anymore. But it's it's again, it's depending on where you're at, how you're going about it, and how the promotion wants to show themselves.
yeah. So my next question is, how do the referees communicate with the wrestlers without letting the audience, without making it noticeable to the audience?
It's the same way the wrestlers communicate to themselves. It's we got our special things. Like everyone knows, I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people know of the professional wrestling Iggy. So that's one of the biggest tools in my opinion, is to check on them. It's like, are you okay, without straight up saying, are you okay? Just put your thumb or your finger in their palm of their hand, and they'll just give you a good squeeze. If they give you a good squeeze, you know they're all right. If you don't feel that squeeze, the X is about to go up. It's making those calls like that, and honestly, just looking them in the eye. If they can look you back in the eye, and you can see the light in their eye, you know they're fine. But being able to pick up on those readings, especially when you work with people, like as a referee, I've worked with so many wrestlers because I've refed entire shows by myself or just with one other person. So that's 12 to 15 wrestlers I just worked with in any given night. So I've had the opportunity working with a lot of people a lot of times over and over and over again. And much like a wrestler learning another wrestler's style to better work with them, I learn all these other wrestler styles the more I work with them, and I can tell, oh, they're doing this. I know they're about to do this. I need to get set up for this. And at that point, I don't even have to talk with them. I know exactly what's about to happen after that.
Yeah, yeah, I can attest to that too. It was last year I think in like the summer. It was a Memphis wrestling show I saw you at, and it was here in Arkansas, and like you just did a great job of that because I didn't notice if anything had happened or anything like that. Like the action was just flowing, and it was just a really good show.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, thank you.
Yeah. My next question is how do you react when a spot doesn't go as planned?
Uh, actually, I have a very funny story that when I was very first starting, some of the guys that I trained with, because it was one of his matches, uh, likes to play around with me. Um, it was the first time me ever experiencing a true injury. Like, oh my god, this guy is actually hurt. We need to get medical attention. And so what happened? It was a big bad Samoan dude named Atua versus another man by the name of Denzel Rollins. Awesome dude. I haven't met him again since then, but I sure hope he's doing all right. I always love the guy. But beginning of the match, literally first 2 minutes of the match going on, uh, big bad Atua. They do a shoulder tackle spot, and the final shoulder tackle Atua just kind of pushes him off, and he goes rolling outside. When he lands on the concrete ground, this is all in Tuckerman. It's all concrete ground around. There's not much in the way of padding outside of a little carpet. Um, he landed right on his shoulder, and his shoulder broke. Like collarbone, everything apparently just completely exploded. And when I went down there and it's like, "Are you okay?" He's just wailing, and I'm like, "Oh no, I don't know what to do." I knew of the X at that point, but I was in a pure panic state. So I, as a very green referee at that time, sprinted to the back and said, "This man's hurt. We need someone outside," instead of just throwing up the X and waiting for someone to come. So I learned from that. I did learn from that. I have experienced other injuries in the past. I've been able to communicate without straight up abandoning the man that's injured. But it's all a learning process on those things, and being able to recognize the situation. Probably the most recent situation that came up with me is another hardcore wrestling event, Memphis Street Fights in Memphis, Tennessee. We were at a place called Growlers. It was one of the it was a no ring event. So no ring. It was just in a bar, and we were doing some hardcore no ring, no rules deathmatch wrestling inside this bar. My boy Sleazy E, owner and operator of Natural State Wrestling, my home promotion right now, where I am the official senior official of. He had himself a hell of a death match over there in Memphis, Tennessee, against Boracho and Prestigious Pete, and right. And it was an elimination style match, all that. Right before Sleazy got eliminated, OP. Have you ever heard of something called a gusset plate?
No.
It's a wild piece of metal with a bunch of little spikes coming out, and yeah, P gave Sleazy a good old time with that spiky piece of metal, and he was busted open pretty good, and to the point where like I got scared because Sleazy, not only is he my boss, not only is he a mentor in a way to me, he's also one of my best friends in the world. And I saw him on the ground just bleeding, and I said, "That's not very good." So I ran in. We got the match going. I made sure he was all right. He was fine at the end of everything. Thank goodness. But the match continued on. We got him the help we needed. We got him out of the way in the safest way we possibly could. And the match finished out. We cleaned up everything in the arena, not the arena, but the bar where we were doing our little show, doing our little performance and everything, and everything came out all right. But it's definitely a listen by ear, see how everything's going, and call it as you see it type of thing.
Yeah. It definitely sounds like you learned. Didn't run to the back this time. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely didn't run to the back. I made sure he was good and got him out the way so nothing else bad would happen to him.
yeah, that's great. And I'm sure those are memorable matches for the wrong reasons. But Let's talk. What's the most memorable match you have officiated and why, and for a good reason?
Um, well, I wouldn't say I necessarily officiated it. My buddy Sleazy, who also is a very good referee and the man that taught me a lot of what I know about refereeing. I was outside security official, making sure people weren't going to get hurt in a match between main event Bradley and Tommy Dreamer at the Valiant Arena. While I was not the one counting 1, 2, 3, I was still there ringside when they started brawling out into the audience and everything. I was there clearing the way and everything. So even though I didn't count the 1, 2, 3 on it, I was still there in some capacity helping out, and that was just the memorable part was definitely more the afterwards, like the talking with Tommy Dreamer and sitting down with him and picking his brain about things. So that's definitely, I would say that would probably be the most like memorable, like heartfelt thing to
Yeah.
me. When it comes to counting the 1, 2, 3, probably another this it's another death hardcore death match show. It was out in Amarillo. I refereed single handedly a 2-day 12 match tournament. The first death match tournament in Amarillo in like over 15 years at that point, since Terry Funk had passed. It was the first deathmatch tournament in Amarillo since Terry Funk has passed. And being able, I was being the only referee to ref that event. Um, it it was something special. It was a test to me almost, because I done some deathmatch stuff. I was maybe 2 shows ever into doing hardcore deathmatch stuff at that time, and to be able to say I traveled 10 hours all the way to Amarillo, Texas, refereed for 2 days straight, 6 matches at both nights. I was the only one that counted all those pinfalls. That on a like professional and like motivation level, I know that is probably like something that is truly like special to me on a like I can do this level. Like this is me.
Yeah.
I know I can do this. This is proof that I can do this and I can continue to do it going forward.
Yeah, I'm sure that's something. Hearing that, I'm sure that's something that inspires a lot of people. That inspires me because that's a lot of work. 2 straight days, you the only one refing all those matches.
It's
That's a lot of
Iron
work.
Man, baby. I'm an Iron Man, baby. It's I'm a big fella, but something I do pride myself in is being able to move like someone that is not as big as me, and I impress people with that stuff, and it's that's that motivation that really drives me. I love putting on a show when people don't think I can put on that show.
Yeah. Okay. So my next question: how aware are you of the crowd and does their energy affect how you work?
One more time, what was that?
Oh, how aware are you of the crowd and does their energy affect how you work?
I will say that's actually one of my weak points. If I like something that I'm personally trying to work on is my attentiveness to the crowd. I 9 times out of 10, I've completely drowned them out. Because a lot of the time when I do start listening to the crowd, they're just telling me to count faster. So I over and over and over, yeah, I will admit I drowned out the crowd and I'm just paying attention to the 2 wrestlers in the ring and doing my job in that way. But at the same time, I'm a part of the show. I do need to listen to the crowd and hear their reactions because that can give me some idea of like how I need to present myself, where I need to go, where I need to be. Because if I'm in the way of the crowd seeing something, that's going to lessen the pop of the wrestlers. So I want to make sure I am in the right place at the right time there to be able to count that 1, 2, 3, know what they need and know what I need to do next. because and the crowd is a very good tell of that. So that is actually something I am working on with myself during shows and whatnot, because it's unfortunately something you can't train. Is that
Yeah.
crowd interaction. You can only teach yourself that stuff when you're in the heat of the moment. And when you're trying to learn something in the heat of the moment, it becomes quite a task to try and keep yourself in the game while still trying to fix yourself and critique yourself whilst in the game.
Yeah, that's probably one of the hardest parts of wrestling in general. Because the wrestlers, if
I would
you
say
can't cut the promos in front of the crowd, like the promos in practice. You just got to go out there, and whatever happens, happens.
it. I mean, and at the same time, like a lot of that is like that adrenaline in front of the crowd. Like you can kind of tell. You may be able to tell a little bit. I have a little bit of a stutter, uh, and but when I like get out there in front of the crowd, I feel like I can speak the most fluently I've ever spoken. I've never had much of a chance to speak the most fluently I've ever spoken in front of a crowd, but it's that little extra bit of adrenaline really makes your brain fire in very specific ways that you're an entertainer, baby. It's all about entertainment and putting on a show to that crowd. It's that entertainer switch flips, and it's showtime. When it's showtime, it's showtime. I don't know how better to say it.
Yeah, and since we're talking about the crowd, has it ever been a tough call that you had to make to upset the crowd or the wrestlers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's always the wrestlers that like start getting ahead of themselves, and I've had to tell people, it's like, hey man, I'm not a referee to be punked. I will disqualify you, like, straight up. But thankfully, I think I've ran into that situation only once. I wouldn't say for the crowd on the crowd side. Crowd side, they're going to boo, they're going to cheer. No matter what, nothing's ever going to be good enough for the crowd sometimes. So of
Yeah,
course the crowd is, in the words of Daniel Bryan from like 2018, sometimes fickle. Crowd is sometimes fickle.
yeah,
But as for a wrestler, like, they will get them into a corner and just keep beating them down bloody style. And I get to that count of 5, and I have to pull them off. It's like, hey man, you need to chill with that. Like, I am an official. If you keep doing that, I will have to disqualify you and end the match. Thankfully, I've never had to go all the way to disqualifying and ending a match because someone had to do what kept going that far. But I've definitely had to get in some wrestlers' faces and give that good old finger shake, saying, one more time, and this match may be over for you.
yeah. It's a good officiating. You want to see a clean finish.
Exactly. And if you don't get that clean fight, that clean officiating, the crowd's going to be all over you. And let me tell you, if you do some shady stuff at the beginning of the night, the crowd's going to eat you alive by the main event.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, what promotions have you enjoyed working in the most?
Well, my 2 home promotions, definitely. APS Action Pack Sports. That's where I've gotten a lot of my training and a lot of my learning done. Like the way I move, how to train, how to wrestle, how to be a wrestler, lock up, all that. I give full kudos over to Jonathan Holt, Action Jackson with Action Pack Sports. He runs an amazing school down there over in Conway, Arkansas. If you need wrestling training, he's probably, in my opinion, the best at providing a constant flow of wrestling training in the Conway area up there. So I definitely got a lot of love for him, and on that side, then also on Natural State Wrestling, NSR. That's the current home promotion I am a senior official with as well. I also do have a lot of production and production stuff, fingers and mini fingers and mini pies type thing with Natural State Wrestling. But I those two are definitely home base for me. Those are like those two overcome any other promotion for me. But also, I've worked with in MACW, ASWF, Tuckerman, Arkansas. That's where I got the start and everything. And I always have a very close fondness to that building and whatnot, and what that building has done for me, because that's where I did start my training and whatnot, and eventually moved over it into Conway with Action Jackson, much closer to me. So ASWF and MACW over in Tuckerman. I've where else? Bomb City Bar Fights. That was the Amarillo promotion I worked with. I hope I can work with him again sometime in the future. But Amarillo is far away, so it's hard to make it over there. But I'd love to work with that crew again. They were very fun, and I miss a lot of them a lot. What are TACW over in Little Rock? Probably one of the most fun promotions that you could go see. Definitely, it's just punk rock. It's punk rock and professional wrestling. It's in an old brewery pizza place called Vino's in downtown Little Rock that punk shows have been playing there for like 30-40 years. Green Day played there when before Green Day ever got their big start and everything. So it's very cool being able to go in there, bring a wrestling ring in there, and just perform this wild and crazy arts that we have of professional wrestling on the most wildest and craziest scale in front of this crowd that just eats up everything you throw at them. That is definitely another promotion that is just very close to the heart for me. I love that just on a pure entertainment and artistic way. It's a beautiful promotion.
Yeah, that's a dope. And I'm a one final question. What advice would you give to anybody that wants to be a pro wrestling referee in the future?
Show up. Number one, that I was talking about top rules earlier. That is the top rule. Number one rule in professional wrestling, no matter where you want to be, whether it's wrestler, referee, camera guy, security, it doesn't matter what position you want to play in the professional wrestling game. The number one rule is to show up. If you can just show up and say, even with the most modicum amount of training sometimes, especially for like security, or it's like, I know how to count to 3. I know how to count to 10. I've seen WWE a million times. I know how the referees work. Throw some stripes on you and you're a referee in there. And that's the start. You just got to do that one time. And then that second time, that third time, it's just that eventual snowball, and it just keeps building and keeps going. But the only way you can start that snowball and to keep that snowball going is to just show up. If you show up, show that you're willing to work and put in the time for this company, for these people, for this promotion, for these wrestlers, for these refs, all these other people, that's networking. And when anytime they go off to do something else, hey, this guy knows how to count to 3. He was pretty good at it last time in my last match. Let's get him out here to me. And just keep it going. Just keep it going.
Yeah, that's some great advice. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. This was a wonderful conversation. Really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
this.
Thank
Hope
you.
the people that's seeing this video learn a lot from Wayne Maddox. Once again, thank you. Make sure y'all leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, and share for others to see. So with that being said, peace out.